Hello, everybody. My name is Malindi Mabwalia, your host, and on today's talk show, we have an interesting topic with ISU's former student. He's an alumni. I'll allow him to introduce himself. Sir, welcome to the Kuchalo podcast.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you for hosting me, Mr. Mali. And
The pleasure is all mine.
oh yeah, I'll greet the viewers before I introduce myself. Greetings,
Sure.
viewers. My name's Gabriel Miangana. I'm a Zambian. Um, I'm a graduate at Idaho State University in the field of medical laboratory sciences, and so far I have a couple of years experience in this field. Um, my first year was characterized by being a generalist. That means that in the medical laboratory you get to experience everything, and you get to choose what interests you after you, whenever you want to choose. So in my second year, I decided to venture into microbiology, which is one area of the lab, which is infectious diseases. It's microbiology, but it's a specialty called infectious diseases. Then I also got to experience mass spectrometry, which is the area of the lab that I'm working on right now.
Oh, wow.
So that's a brief introduction of myself.
Oh wow, that sounds like an interesting course you did. So, when was your freshman at ISU?
So I was the intake of 2018. Like 2018 January, that was my freshman year. But by then I wasn't doing this course, of which I will explain later as we go. Yeah. So that was
Oh wow.
my freshman.
That's nice. So how's been your run? It's not easy when you first step into college. When you look at your 4-year program, it looks like you still have a long way, and now you're looking back like it was just yesterday when you started as a freshman. So how's been the experience all along?
The experience was quite daunting, somewhat interesting but rough at some, you know. One thing I would want to say precisely is that when I came into university, I wasn't fully decided as to what I wanted to do. Of course, I had an idea of certain things I wanted to do, but it ended up not working out the way I wanted. So the experience was, you know, quite rough, I would say. But when I discovered exactly what I wanted to do, it became like more interesting. So I was an engineering student.
Oh wow.
The whole of my first year, I was an engineering
So
student
from engineering to medical
to
lab
medical
science.
laboratory.
Wow.
But I've always been an enthusiast of medicine and the medical field. But when I came here, I wanted to pursue pharmacy. I wanted to, you know, venture into pharmaceutical industries. But for some reason, ISU program, I feel like it doesn't favor very well international students, especially if you don't have proper funding. So I stayed away from that,
I see.
and I discovered this medical laboratory science field.
So
That's why I ventured
So the viewers might be wondering about medical laboratory science. What is medical laboratory science?
Okay, so in simpler terms, medical laboratory sciences is a field of medicine that deals with specimen testing. These specimen may be tissues, body fluids, urine, blood, stool specimen. So we are a group of medical field that you don't get to see as a patient, but we work kind like in the background.
I see.
So when, for instance, when you go to the doctor will not know exactly what you're suffering from. Otherwise, if they told you you have this problem, they'll be just guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So what they have to do is they'll get something from you
Mm-hmm.
that they'll give us, the medical laboratory sciences.
Mm-hmm.
Using scientific method,
Mhm.
we test that specimen
Mm-hmm.
to find out with the actual cause or the actual problem. We
Oh.
tell the doctor tells you, and the doctor make a prescription.
Oh.
So a medical laboratory scientist, in short, is a person who deals with patient specimen testing and all that.
So you're basically like working hand in hand with the doctor, because many people might not know behind that. They just know that the doctor has told me this. Whilst the doctor comes to find out from you guys, then
Right.
you give the doctor.
Yes.
Oh,
right.
wow,
That's actually how it is. So the doctor, you go there, you present your symptoms and everything. The doctor will make a guesswork. Say, okay, these symptoms may correlate with a certain disease.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am suspecting this disease,
Mm-hmm.
let me get something that a laboratory scientist can test
Mm-hmm.
to really find out if it is really what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Then if that specimen comes to us, we test it, and if we see what we were looking for,
Mm-hmm.
that means the doctor's guess is valid.
Oh, wow.
So we validate, like the doctor can't really
Like they give a
precisely
prediction,
say
yeah.
like this is what you're suffering from
Mhm.
before they hear from
Yeah,
us.
they need to carry out the tests
Yes.
through you guys.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So I would like you to compare your life during college days and your life now. So how long have you been working as a medical lab before I go on with this question?
So I would say professionally a couple of years.
Okay, oh
Yes.
that's nice. So now, how would you compare your life during university days and now that you're in the corporate world, you're working with as a medical lab scientist? So which life would you say was the busiest for you?
I would say that when it comes to busy life,
Mm-hmm.
I would say during my school days, I was somewhat busy in the sense that I had to do, juggle a lot of things, assignments and all that, trying, to meet all those things. But I wouldn't really say there's a very big difference. The difference is just the level of stress and the type of stress that you have, because these are kind of two different worlds.
Yeah.
As a student, your main goal, your main achievement is, you want to work hard, achieve good grades,
Yeah.
meet the deadlines for the assignments and all that.
Mhm.
But when you go to a corporate world, especially if you are a new person in the field,
Mhm.
you get to work along with professionals who have perfected their craftsmanship.
Mhm.
So you will feel like I'm not doing enough.
Mhm.
So your stress or keeping yourself busy is trying to work hard, trying to research, trying to perfect your craftsmanship so that you can feel that, okay, I am now really a medical laboratory scientist because I can compare to my colleagues who have worked in this field for so many years. So those are the two levels of stress. But if you just want kind of sit back, relax, you can, but it doesn't help you grow.
So the working hard doesn't cease.
No, it doesn't cease.
It just continues.
It just continues.
Oh wow! Because there's this assumption most us students have that I'm so busy during university. Like when I graduate and start working, like it's gonna be less. I'm like gonna have less stress or something. How true do you think that is?
I don't want to promise you that. For sure, I don't want to promise you that. I feel like you still need to put a lot of work. You still need to put a lot of work. Yes, you may not have this thing of I have an assignment that is due at 11, 12,
Mhm.
but you do have a lot of hard work you have to put in. Initially, like I said, initially, you have to work hard to catch up with people who have been in the industry for a long time. You have to perfect your skills to improve your efficiency, speed, and the quality of work that you do.
Yeah.
That characterize your initial stage. After maybe by the time you feel like you've perfected that, you may want to be pursuing some higher positions.
Yeah.
There are a lot of positions in the laboratory space where you need to, where you need to keep climbing. So climbing the corporate ladder comes with a lot of hard work. So if you say, well, I don't want to work hard, I don't think you can lead. I don't think you can take up those responsibilities. And one thing you must know in the lab is we need to be accurate, we need to work with time, we need all these things. And if you are a person who doesn't like to work hard and perfect your craftsmanship, I don't think you'll be able to deliver.
That's true.
That's just my opinion. I don't know how others.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So when it comes in terms of balancing, so like when you're a youth and when you're in your peak years, you're trying to balance your life. Like everything in your life is trying to crush in at once. You have your academics, you have your spiritual life, you have your love life, you have your financial life. So how did you manage all that? Like trying to balance all that through college? Did you like cut off some things and say, I'll just focus on college, or what? How was the balance for you?
That's a very tough one. I would say in nature, life is not like a straight path. In one way or the other, you have to juggle those things. And if you are able to juggle those things smoothly, that's great. But most of us do figure those things as we go. We figure them as we go. So for me personally, yes, I had to juggle those things. I wouldn't say it was easy. It was quite a rough path, but somewhat I managed. I had to work hard to find fees to pay for my tuition. I had to work hard, to ensure that I graduate, I achieve, or attend the education that I wanted. I also had to, maintain my belief system and all that. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's easy, it's rough, and I wouldn't want to say there's a formula to it. On that one, sorry, I don't have a formula to help anybody, but yeah, it's tough.
So during your time in college, did you ever experience some rough setbacks? Like maybe there's a time where like things tried to crash and you almost felt like giving up. Was there such kind of a time?
Yes, a lot of times. So there's a lot of times, like I said in my introduction, that I was an engineering student. So obviously, making a switch wasn't just something you wake up and I want to switch.
Yeah.
So imagine taking all these classes, then you just realize, I don't think this is the path that I want. You have to make a lot of adjustments, and those adjustments will come with setbacks. So like I said, I did like 1 year of engineering. Switching to medical laboratory sciences meant that I had to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
But sacrificing that time of tuition, hard work, and everything so far that I had put into, sometimes I felt like, was this a good decision that I made? Because I already suffered like a year. I've paid tuition, I bought books, I did all the assignments. Now I'm switching from this to something else. Is this a good decision? all those kind of thoughts kind of linger around. Sometimes you feel low, sometimes you feel motivated. Okay, I found whatever I wanted. You keep pushing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's definitely awesome. So what would you say to someone who's like going through that kind of a patch? Like, sometimes during college life, sometimes it might get so stressful, and there are those situations where you just can't talk to somebody, just confiding them in yourself, and you feel like you'll be embarrassed to talk to someone about it. So what would you say to a kind of a person?
So what I would say firstly is that being self-motivated is very great. Find reasons to know that you can do it. Believe in yourself. But also, talking to people around you is very helpful. It's helpful in the sense that people tend to have different views. So, talking to different people exposes you to different thinking. Then, if you bring those different kinds of thinking together, you'll be able to pick something good from there.
That's true.
You don't have to necessarily go by what each one said, but you have to kind of analyze, sieve through, and see, okay, this person is saying this. What's the pros and cons of what this person is saying versus what I'm thinking or what I'm doing right now? You kind of expose yourself to that. So talk to people around you.
As they say,
Be
problem shared
open-minded.
is a problem
Yes.
solved.
Be open-minded. Talk to people around you. Definitely the journey is going to be a lot more easier because once you share your problems with other people, like you said, rightfully said, a problem shared is half solved. So sharing half solved, you only have the other half to
That's true.
solve.
Wow, that's interesting. That's definitely something to consider. Well, it has been interesting talking about you and knowing your thoughts on how you juggled out university and everything. So, do you plan on going back, maybe trying to get something higher?
Not right now. I think my goals right now are just, you know, trying to perfect my craftsmanship and experience different parts of the lab and probably climb a little bit of the corporate ladder, and then I can see. But if certain positions of the lab requires me to go back to school, yes, I may. Depends on the offers and the opportunities that I see coming.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. The corporate world is what most of us students yearn to have, like just the way we had the eager of going to university, and now that we're in university, we're eager to complete and go into the corporate world, like go into another step forward. So it's been awesome having your insight on how things are done out there. So thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel, for coming into our podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Mr. Gabriel, and this has been Mali, your host. Thank you very much for watching us. Stay blessed.